What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on the newest episode of the American Warrior Festival podcast. Before we get started, we just wanted to take a moment to honor those brave men and women warriors that made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms and this great nation. To quote your illustrious host, Mr. Dan Clor, all gave some, and some gave all. We thank you, we salute you, and we will never forget you. Please join us now in a moment of silence as we honor these brave souls.
Welcome to the American Warrior Festival podcast, a celebration of our troops, veterans, and American way of life. I'm your host, Dan Clor. The American Warrior Festival podcast brought to you by the Red Osier Landmark Restaurant, Western New York's premier dining experience, known for its amazing prime rib and dedication to the veteran community. Visit them online at theredosier.com. Hello, American Warrior Festival family. We are on episode number 13, and today's focus is our awesome female warriors. And we are very happy to invite Lynn and Tara to the show today. Hello, ladies.
Hello, thank you.
Oh. Well, thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. We need to focus on you guys and let the rest of the world know all about our awesome female warriors. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Same here. Thank you.
So why don't we go back to the beginning here and talk a little bit about what led you ladies to decide to join the military. Lynn, would you like to go first?
Sure. So I had overheard somebody in the back of the classroom talking about them joining the Navy, and I thought, what? And I remember turning around and asking her, what are you talking about? You're joining the Navy? And next thing I know, I looked into no other branches and I joined the Navy. I did end up transferring over to the Air Force and retired Air Force, but that was it. That's all it took, was overhearing someone. I was nervous about what I was going to do after high school. I wasn't a big school person, and fearing going to college and knowing my parents were going to make me, I thought this was my out. This was my easy out, which was not easy out. College probably would have been the easier out. So that's my story.
Nice. All right, Tara, how about you?
Oh, geez. I always loved the military. I was one of those kids who grew up playing with like Army figures. I still remember my kindergarten friend, Brad Dragonette, him and I setting up our Army men all over the yard. My grandfather was a World War II vet, so that was a big drive. I used to hear all his stories. And I just always wanted to do it. So I started out in the Army for the first 8 years and been with the Air Force ever since. So I enlisted in 2000 and have been in ever since. So still serving.
Where we left off and just edit that out. Okay, so Tara, you're still serving now, right? In the Air Force Reserves?
Yes, I'm a full-time active guard reservist. So I'm pretty much active duty in the reserves.
Oh, nice. Nice. Very cool. So now why don't we talk a little bit about the boot camp experience and how it was for you ladies?
Go ahead, Sarah. You went Army first, so yeah, you have more of a challenge, I'm sure. I'm not sure the differences. I was Navy boot camp. She was Army boot camp. I ended Air Force and she's Air Force now. So Tara, how was that for you?
Honestly, I was just out of high school. like you, Lynn. I went right to boot camp in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. They used to call it like Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri. I remember getting first day on the ground, and they pull us up in, cattle trucks, and we're all squeezed in there with our, duffel bags, and one on the back, one around the front, and you're sweating bullets because it's hot in there, and you got little windows. And as soon as they open the door, there's, your drill sergeants out there with their big round hats and, welcome to hell, you have no idea what's going to happen. And it was a great experience, though. I actually, as miserable as it's supposed to be, I loved every minute of it, running around, even up to our ruck march, to our, field training. I had a blast with it. So I think it's what you make of it.
Nice. Now, with the Army, is there multiple different recruit depots, or is there like one or two main places for the Army?
There's definitely more than one. So like infantry would go to one area. A lot of them can handle a lot of the different career fields, but there's certain ones specific, like if you're going infantry or special forces or ranger.
Right. Now,
like depending on what your job is going to be, but for the most part, yeah, most of the depots can.
Cool. Now, it was cutting out there a little bit, Don, but the Marine Corps just graduated their first platoon of female Marines in San Diego, because they all the female recruits used to go to Parris Island. So that's a groundbreaking thing right there. It's pretty cool to see that now that San Diego is also training female Marines. I thought that was cool. Yes. So Lynn, how about you?
I was a wimp. I was not like Tara. I was 18-year-old privileged teenage girl that just wanted to get away from mom and dad and thought that boot camp was going to be the easy way out. And I cried every day. I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't. It was awful. You're getting screamed at. You're having a PT. I didn't do any of that. I thankfully was in somewhat of shape. Now forget it. But then at the time, we were running and practicing before we had to go to basic training. But I don't think they really fully train you, to be beat down like they do when you get there, and the mind games. And I was not ready for that. So it played a toll on me. I mean, I did well. I got through it. But I was not excited. The field training was not fun for me. But I got through it. And I'll tell you, looking back, I would absolutely do it again. Of course, we're more prepared in our elder years for the mind games and for whatnot that they put you through. But I'll tell you, I would absolutely do it again. And it definitely shaped me into becoming, at the time, a good sailor that I was. And then fortunately, when I went over to the Air Force, I didn't have to go to basic training again. So I did have to do field training and a different training for my new career field, which was security forces, like Tara as well. So that was fun. We trained a lot with the Army and did a lot of tactical training through them. So it was pretty cool to see their side of the house, and they took advantage of feeling pretty badass too, if I could say that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. You can let it fly.
Oh, right. Yeah, they felt very, very badass. I will say it again. Training us Air Force folk, and I was one of the older people going over to training. I was training with a lot of 18-year-olds at the time because I was prior service. So that was pretty interesting. It was almost like boot camp all over again, doing the land nav and just being dropped into the middle of a field, and you got to find your way back. And we didn't have our cell phones and, GPS. We had to just figure it out using your basic compass and pencils. That was it. That's all we were given, and some peanuts, and said, see ya. We'll see you when we see ya. That was it.
Good times. Now, where was your Navy basic? Where is that happening?
I did it in Orlando. I'm definitely dating myself. Orlando, Florida, that base closed down a while ago, but it was hot. And we were training, they called it out on the grinder on the blacktop in 90-something. I went in August, right after high school, right after graduation. It was the soonest I could go. And we were training alongside, obviously not with, but Navy SEALs were there training. And so we're trying to keep up with them, and Lord knows we couldn't. It was awful.
Nice. I like your background there. What, you got a little bar set up?
Oh my God. So this is retirement, folks. This is COVID and retirement. Yeah.
I like it.
It should be gone, but the other side is supposed to be coffee and snacks. well, there's no coffee up there. And the snacks are
Nice.
gone too. This was my COVID project. I wiped everything out and created a bar room. What else was I going to do with my time being
I
trapped
like
at
it.
home?
Great use of space right there.
Right. Yeah, and then I joined a wine club, and it just kept coming. So
There you
that's
go.
why. There it is.
Awesome. Now, speaking of like female drill instructors in the Marine Corps, right after the rifle range, every platoon had to do like, kitchen duty and, chow hall.
Oh yeah.
So our platoon actually got sent over to the female chow hall. So when we were working, handing out pastries and cleaning the floors, the female drill instructors would handle us. And I think they were meaner than the men.
Yeah.
Like we were so like conditioned to say, yes, sir. So when they would bark orders at us, we'd be like, yes, sir. They're like, oh, hell no. Now I'm a man. Now I'm a sir. No, man. So it was just the wiring,
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
That's what I remember, like dealing with female drill instructors. They were pretty intense. So now, how about maybe some of the things that you guys, some of your favorite parts about your service and what you did and the exciting times when you were in the fleet. Whoever would like to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Tara.
All right. I'd say so it's hard like to say it as my favorite, but I think the most important part of my career was September 11th. I was in the Army, and that was my first time being activated to deal with any type of situation. It was before the war started in Iraq and Afghanistan. So I was 18 and down in New York City and working with police officers and search and rescue. And there was Marines, there was Army, there was Air Force, there was Navy. It was just humbling. It opened my eyes, and I think it's the reason why I still am in today. But that would be probably one of the groundbreaking moments for me that really stuck with me. But
oh, sure, I can imagine. You were right down there working in Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Imagine that felt like pretty important work right there. So
it did. It felt surreal. I still remember, like, because I was so young, and you watch all these movies growing up, and part of me felt like I was in like some bad action movie, because of how it looked and just the experience. But I think the connection that we made with people and the mission that we had, and just everyone coming together, all the branches, all the civilian law enforcement, everybody working together, I just fell in love, and my heart broke at the same time. But it was just a mix of emotions.
Oh, I can imagine. In the camaraderie with everyone as well, the different groups all coming together for a common goal, and the weight of all of the emotions and everything. So that's amazing. Lynn, how about you?
Yeah, I can't even imagine. During that time, I was serving as well, but I temporarily was reserves, going from Navy to Air Force, and I was in the Navy Reserves. And I remember just bringing up that time, going and picking up my daughter from school, thinking, what the heck? I was in uniform, and they're all asking me what's going on. I'm like, you guys know more than I do right now. You're sitting in front of a TV. I'm driving to grab my daughter and get her home because I have no idea what's happening right now. But just touching on that, I would have to say, like I said, during that time, I was fortunate to be home with family. I was on an aircraft carrier. That was tremendous with my Navy career. There's nothing more exhilarating than being up on that flight line and kind of like what Tara saying, you got that danger zone feel, and you got that adrenaline going, and you got that thrill. It was so exciting being up on there that I look back at pictures now and I'm like, I did that when I was 18, 19 years old. Holy cow. And at the time it was just doing your job. So I look back now and think, if I could go back to my 18-year-old self, how cool that would be to really take in the moment. I feel like I didn't do that as much as I should have. And then I would say on the Air Force side, for sure, being deployed to Iraq, it was terrifying, very terrifying. I couldn't believe that this was happening after I had already 13 years under my belt in the military before I deployed, and no deployments. So there was my time to go. And again, meeting the people, meeting the locals, and seeing that they're real people too. You know, you got the good guys, you got the bad guys, and we're there to help the good guys and help them have a life. And I worked with a lot of the women there, a lot of the local women, and teaching them basic trade skills. And what we take advantage of here back at home is just mind blowing. And so being there and getting a taste of that and realizing, you know, don't take advantage of the little things, clean water, clean clothing, and the little simple things that we take advantage of back home. I would say that was probably my most memorable and my biggest takeaway from the military for sure.
And where in Iraq were you stationed?
I was in Kirkuk. So I was there at the tail end. I was there 08, 09. And
okay.
It was a lot calmer then. I mean, we were getting rocket attacks on the daily, but they had bad aim. So I guess we were pretty lucky in that sense. And, you know, it just kind of became the norm. We have another alarm red and, you know, get in a bunker or whatever was safe. But it just became the norm. But during that time, I know it wasn't as bad for many.
Right. I was there in 2005 to 2006 in Ramadi.
Okay.
So that was, same type of thing. We were still trying to win hearts and minds and training Iraqis, you know, police or military. And so that's running convoys and prisons and stuff like that. But it was after the invasion, obviously. Right. So now one thing that I think is cool and interesting is all of the infantry and combat related jobs that are now open to women that were not before. And there's some really, you know, we served with some really hardcore women Marines that definitely I felt would have been a good fit for some of those MOSs. So what's your view on women kind of developing and getting into those new combat related MOSs? Whoever like
I think it's outstanding. I know we both feel the same way. I mean, we both kind of entered like in a transition, Lynn, even before me, but even from 2000 when I enlisted to now, just seeing the changes. I think it's outstanding. I think anyone that wants to serve should be able to serve, and if they can fill the duty and they can do the job, let them do it. You know, right. They're doing it for their country. They're doing it for a place they love. I'm all for it. I love it. I think it's great.
Absolutely. And you said I think the main thing right there, set the standard. If whoever can do the job, right? Reach up to the bar and grab the bar and run with it. And I'm all for it too. Whoever can do the job. Mm-hmm. So, Lynn, how about you?
Yes, I want to echo pretty much everything that Tara said. More power to you. I mean, I definitely chose just joining the military as a whole. You're in a male dominant career field, and then choosing security forces. That's even more. For a long time, I was one of the only females. And then by the time I was retiring, oh my gosh, I almost felt like the women were outnumbering the men in the unit. We were getting a huge flux of females coming through. But again, that is, you're not infantry, you're not front line, but it was definitely a male dominant career field for sure. And these women, I've been reading their stories and following them, and bravo to them. I applaud them big time.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. I think it's a good thing for the military overall. So why don't we talk a little bit now, Terry, you're still in.
Yes.
But why don't we talk about some of the things, I guess, Lynn, we could touch on Western New York Heroes here and all the stuff you're doing post-military career. And then Tara, we could talk about kind of where you plan on heading with your career, maybe how much longer you have or plan on serving, or if you've gotten that far with your planning. But Lynn, why don't we talk a little bit about the great stuff you're doing with Western New York Heroes? We've been able to have the good fortune to work with you guys, and we're just really amazed at the way you guys execute your organization and the way you handle things. You guys are, grade A nonprofit veteran group.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I am pretty proud to say that we're doing some pretty remarkable stuff in the community. I always say I could never be a used car salesman or woman, because I don't believe in trying to upcharge or whatever it is. I have to preach something that I believe in, and that's why I choose to be at Western New York Heroes. And I spoke today up at Niagara Falls Air Base, and Tara said it best that, after retiring, I wanted to continue my service. I was not ready to get out. I ended up getting out on a medical discharge, and I had a very, very hard transition mentally, not even so much physically, where you would think it would be physically because it was medical, but more mentally than anything. And I needed to be still a part of the military. I needed that connection. And so working with Western New York Heroes, I definitely found that connection. We're a family. We are all veterans there. I definitely take pride in saying that every single one of us that work in that office are veterans, and that is a criteria that we plan on keeping. Not that a civilian can't understand what a veteran is going through, but sometimes you just need that familiar face. You need another veteran to talk to. How many times do we go to doctor's appointments and it's a civilian doctor and you don't open up? Or you sit in an empty room, or a full room rather, with a bunch of people, and the second you find out someone's a veteran, you start talking. You immediately have that connection, man, woman, World War II, or brand new recruit. You have that connection, that camaraderie. So we take pride in saying that, you know, we're all veterans there. We understand. None of us forget where we came from. And I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, people get out of the military or get out of a career field and move on, and they don't look back. Where I look back every day, every single day that I get up out of bed, I'm making sure to remember, you know, my struggles and remember what I had to go through, or my fortunate events that I was really lucky to have this family support and whatnot. And a lot of people don't have that. So that's where we come in. If somebody's financially struggling, if there's a food insecurity, we have a ginormous, if that's even a word, service dog program that has more than tripled since I started working there. I retired in 2015 and started working there in 15. And the service dog program went from 16 veterans paired up with a service dog in the community to 82 we're at now.
Wow.
So those numbers are tremendous. And we pay for all the training. We pay for the food while they're in training. We pay for vet bills. There is no cost to the veteran at all during their time in service. During the time in their training with the service dog. We have a peer-to-peer program, and I am pretty excited. I looped Tara in. I started the first female veterans group in Western New York.
Awesome.
And that was pretty cool. We started with 8, and then I had our first female veterans retreat in 2 years ago, just before COVID. And we had 92 female veterans in Western New York sign up. So we had
awesome.
The Department of Veteran Affairs in Albany did come down and did recognize the event. So that was pretty cool. And I am not an event planner, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And it just all came together. You know, all the women came together and made it happen. So it wasn't me. I basically just booked the hotel and the 3 days and guest speakers, and everybody else made it happen.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
Great.
That sounds like a great event.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now, you're going to plan on doing another one here soon as things are opening up, and you're going to continue on and building this and having it every year, or what's the plan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We did a virtual one. Instead of just a weekend, I did it all week long, because knowing some people are working, some people at home. So we started every morning with yoga, and you would just log on Zoom and do yoga from the comfort of your home. And then every evening we would have events. We did a cooking class. We did and it was a plant-based cooking class. So a lot of people were like, I want a burger, but people really enjoyed it. They took part in it. They made, you know, the plant-based meals, and it was actually really good. We even did a bingo night. We did a lot of suicide prevention, mental health guest speakers, and veteran services came on board, and they talked a lot too about veterans benefits and a lot of things that people don't realize they're entitled to. So they raised a lot of awareness there as well. So it was a great turnout, a little difficult. You know, we have a lot of older veteran population as well mixed in, and it's hard for them with the technology today and getting onto Zoom, and people are zoomed out too. So that was hard. Yeah.
Right. That's true. Now, why don't go ahead and tell the people how they can get a hold of you. We'll also include links to Western New York Heroes and all your groups. So, but this way you can let them know here how to get a hold of you guys. And if you're a veteran, you know, maybe the process that it happens there for them to get your services. So go ahead.
Right. Sorry. Absolutely. If you want to get a hold of myself or anybody from my team, my name is Lynn Magistrale, and I'm the program director at Western New York Heroes. And you can reach us at www.wnyheroes.org, or you can give us a call, 716-630-5020. And we are on every single social media platform. And I've even, that's my dumb dog who is not a service dog. We've even just jumped on TikTok. So I'm not familiar with that. A little bit I'm learning, but we're on TikTok as well as all these social media platforms.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
So Tara, what's your plans here with the rest of your service career?
Well, just like Lynn, I'm sure I'll stay as long as they want to keep me. I love it. I love serving. I'm probably going to be in the same boat when my time's up. Like, where do I go? What do I do? I've been doing this since I graduated high school. So I still got about a little over 5 years, but it depends. There's a chance if I can maybe get to chief before I retire. I don't know. It just depends on where that takes me. That'd be great. But either way, I just want to continue just helping people at the base and local veterans. Like, I love, helping out Lynn's organization as often as I can. They do amazing things. So I can't really top what they're doing, but just supporting the people that I serve with, continuing to do that, being a leader as much as I can to help others develop and hopefully take over my job when I'm gone. But my one passion, I think, that I do see myself getting into is something to do with mental health. I do our violence prevention program at the wing. I do our suicide prevention training, and it's just a big piece to me. I've lost people, veterans, to suicide, so I know how important it is to have those tough talks, especially with those of us in uniform, because a lot of times we hide all those feelings. So I think that's where I would like to go with my career when I get out. So working on that. I have some good mentors that have a degree in what I'm trying to do that are kind of mentoring me along. So working my way there.
all very positive things both you ladies are doing, and it's been an honor to have you guys on today and spending the time with us here on your Sunday. So yeah, well, I tell you what, we're gonna continue featuring all the great things that female veterans are doing. We have a few other episodes planned that are going to be coming down the pipe here. So yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on, and we'll stay in touch and see if we can keep doing some great things together. We're going to have some shows coming up here, Lynn. So I'll let you know. So if you guys have your schedule clear and want to come down and feature your booth, we have some, I think we're starting in June and beyond. So we'll definitely be in touch.
Thank you so much, Dan. Sorry. Thank you. We appreciate you so much.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. So enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You as well. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So we're going to go to a music break here, and we'll be back. So stay tuned. All right.
I've passed the night. green. You made me a promise and broke it, and now I walk around with a sign on my heart that reads, no vacancy for anyone that wants to settle down. You know there's just no room. No vacancy for anyone that's gonna let me down like you. Down like you do, like you do. So I sit here at the station and look into the turning soldier's eyes. So I'll sit here at the station, wonder if you still love me. You took the high road, well, I took whatever light was free. You made me a promise and broke it. Now I walk around with a sign on my heart that reads, no vacancy for anyone that wants to settle down. You know, there's just no room. No vacancy for anyone that's gonna let me down like you. Oh, like you do. Like you do. Yeah. No vacancy, no vacancy.
The American Warrior Festival podcast, brought to you by Oliver's Candies, the creator of the American Warrior Festival Candy Bar. Oliver's Candies is proud to offer you the largest selection of award-winning chocolates made in Western New York. Visit them online at oliverscandies.com.
What's going on, everybody? Don T. Pena here. Just wanted to take a minute to thank our fellow Patreon supporters and let you know that if you wanted to become a fellow supporter of our podcast, all you got to do is click on the link below that is in your show notes. Or if you're listening to this / watching this on YouTube, all you got to do is go to the video description. We will have a link to the Patreon page right there in that description as well. And that will take you to the homepage where you can see the 6 different options for our Patreon program. Feel free to browse through it, guys. Click on them, see which one best suits you, and any support, any help that you guys would offer us is much appreciated. It helps us put more content out for you and push this podcast to that next level. Once again, guys, thank you for all your support. We're going to continue to do our job. You guys have a great rest of your day. We're out.
The American Warrior Festival podcast is brought to you by the Red Osier Landmark Restaurant, Oliver's Candies, Smoking Eagle Barbecue and Brew, The Firing Pin, Orcon Industries, Ken Barrett Chevrolet Cadillac, TF Browns, One LLP, Batavia Legal Printing, GunTrack App, and AmeriHome Healthcare.
Hi, this is Candy. You're listening to the American Warrior Festival podcast.
Treasures are out of sight.
that you called me, I knew I was in. Opposites attract, I don't think it's true. We're different shades of the same old blue. And I understand you're terrified, but I'm good in a crisis and great for a good time. When it comes to you, I'm light years ahead, and it's true. You might as well be dead. Your treasures are out of sight, never out of my mind. I knew to dig for what I would find. Tarot cards, I'm a fucking wreck. Yeah, your cool demeanor makes me whip out the deck. Not too many people have slept in your bed, while I'm over here like I've dated 4 Jeffs. Wish I could read the thoughts in your brain. I just wanna make you a freaking mixtape. Turn down the sun, it's November rain. Stay in New York City, where it is safe.
me while you're gone. Red tail screaming in a big bright sky. Walk with God and you'll learn to fly away. Someday we'll fly away. I'll keep trying to get it right. While I'm still around, one thing I know, we've got to stand in the light while we're stuck here on the ground. While we're stuck here on the ground. Ooh. La 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 la. Singing by the pale moonlight, the star in the sky is a kiss I'm gonna give to you tonight. I'll see you again when Jesus gets me home. We'll keep trying to get it right. While we're still around, one thing I know, we've got to stand in the light while we're stuck here on the ground. While we're stuck here on the ground.
And welcome back, everybody. We'd like to thank you once again for joining us for episode 13 of the American Warrior Festival podcast. And as you guys can probably tell by now, we did have to make a little bit of a pivot on this episode. Unfortunately, the second guest we had fell through due to circumstances out of all of our control. And unfortunately, we couldn't get you guys a replacement guest in time to cut this episode. But on the bright side, we did get to treat you guys to a lot more cool new music that we haven't featured on the show previously. And in honor of today's episode being the American Female Warrior episode, all of the music that you heard were all by female-fronted bands, front women, if you will. So I'm going to go over those songs for you guys and the artists and of what we heard here today. So kicking it off with some metal, because we love our metal here at American Warrior Festival. We had Chasing After Alice with Trickster. That was followed by some good old country style music by Mama Cat Dawn with No Vacancy. Then we kind of lined it up for you guys a little bit, but just as edgy. You got to really listen to the content, the lyrics in this woman's music, because it's pretty crazy. Diana Zinni, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. With her song, first of her song was Light Years, and then followed that up with her second song, which was Ruins, that we featured. That's Diana Zinni there. Again, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Forgive me if I didn't. Then we capped it off again, bringing it back to our metal roots, guys. Chasing After Alice with their song Beautiful Catastrophe. So that's the music you guys got in episode 13 of the American Warrior Festival podcast. Once again, guys, we thank you for joining us. We appreciate everything. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe if you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube. See you next time. We're out of here.